Alright, so welcome back to my channel, you guys. Want to go ahead and talk about yellow banana powders, and I feel like people still use them, or at least I do on my channel. I love banana powders. I feel like they look really good on my skin tone. And when it comes to darker skin tones, you guys, I feel like it's hard to find good powders that don't look ashy on the skin. I have about 5 in front of me, and these, you guys, like once I find something I like, I don't use anything else. So with that being said, you guys want to stick around and see what they are, then go ahead and keep on watching. Alright, so the first powder I do want to talk about is a Sasha Buttercup setting powder, and this powder is actually pretty funny to me because you guys know I used to trash talk it. I feel like it was the worst powder when it came to yellow banana powders, but I've used it on different skin tones and different clients out there, and I noticed it looks good in every skin tone. For some reason on me, when I first started using it, it looked a little bit too patchy underneath the eyes, but the more I use it, you guys, I actually do like it. So let me show y'all what it looks like on the inside. I feel like this powder is not too light on the skin. It's a very nice yellow shade. Some powders are a little bit too ashy on my skin, but I feel like this one is absolutely perfect. And when it comes to my powders, I usually bake on my face because I am very oily, but y'all can tell it looks ashy on the skin right now, but once you bake with it and then brush it off, it doesn't look ashy on the skin at all. So I actually like this powder. I know I used to trash talk it all the time, you guys, but I actually do like it. Okay, so the next one I do have is a Milani translucent banana powder, and when this came out and I tried it out, you guys, I fell in love with this powder. I feel like this powder is one of the best drugstore powders when it comes to banana powders because honestly, I don't think a lot of drugstore brands have a lot of banana shades. At least I don't think they do. So once I saw this, I had to go ahead and grab it. Now, the reason why I love this so much, you guys, is because when I first saw it and the shade it was, I was really shocked because I wasn't expecting this color right here. When they said they had a banana powder, I just knew it was going to be very light, too ashy in the skin and whatnot. But this shade, y'all, is so beautiful on darker skin tones. And I know a lot of you guys have tried it out because you guys told me you all love this powder. So I'm glad y'all love it like I do. So like I told you guys before, I usually bake on the skin, but once you put on the skin, of course, it's going to look a little bit ashy, but once you brush it off, it just blends into the skin like butter. So this is one of my favorites. I love this, and they do have a darker shade and also a lighter shade. So shout out to Milani. So for some reason, I feel like I'm going really fast through this video, but I only do have 5 products. And the next one I do have is a Danessa Myricks powder, the Evolution powder in the shade number 3. Now, I first saw this on Jackie's channel, and when I saw it, you guys, I literally screamed because I feel like it was a perfect yellow banana shade for my skin tone at least. But in person, it is very deep, which is not a bad thing at all. But you can still go ahead and add a lighter shade on top and it will work out in the end. But let me give y'all a good swatch of this powder. It is kind of hard to swatch it because it literally blends into the skin really nicely. Like, for me to like show you guys what it looks like, I have to pack on a lot. But this is what it looks like. Hopefully y'all can see it on camera, but it's a very nice banana shade on the skin. I think it's so beautiful, you guys. And once you blend it in, like, you can't even tell where it is. So I really do love this powder, but the only thing is I can't bake with this at all. For some reason, the texture of this powder is a little bit too light. It's very finely milled, you guys, very finely milled, but I can still set my under eyes and whatnot, but I just can't bake with this powder. So these last 2 powders are like my favorite powders when it comes to yellow setting powders, and the first one I do want to talk about is the Fenty Beauty powder in the shade Honey. This shade, you guys, when I first saw it, I just knew it was gonna work for my skin. I feel like this shade is so pretty and unique, and it's a very different type of yellow powder. It's more on the beige side, but at the same time it still works for my skin. Now the only thing is I don't use it for my under eyes anymore because it's a little bit too heavy for my under eyes. But what I do instead is I grab a brush and I add a little bit of powder underneath the eyes. I can't bake with this at all, but I can still set the under eyes. Okay, so let me show y'all what this looks like on the skin. I've done a whole video on it. Now when you first see it in the little packaging, you don't see how yellow it is. I feel like in person it doesn't look as yellow, but once you put it on the skin, y'all, I feel like this shade is so pretty. And how I use it for myself is I add it all over my face instead. So what I do is I set my whole entire face with this powder because it's just a perfect translucent powder, and I'm obsessed with it and I think it's so pretty. And I do want to mention it has about 28 grams of product in here, which is a lot because I feel like with this I'm never gonna run out because there's so much product in here and the packaging is so beautiful at the same time. So y'all know I love Fenty. I don't need to say too much about this, but this, y'all, is bomb. So last but not least, I know you guys saw this coming because I use this in every single video because it's my favorite banana shade when it comes to powder, and it's a Huda Beauty Easy Bake powder in the shade Kunafa. This powder has changed the game for me. I feel like the texture of it, the way it blends into the skin, I just think it's the best powder out there. And the shade, you guys, like, this is the perfect banana shade when it comes to my skin tone. I used to go through all these products, you guys, and I used to try a lot of products when it came to powders, and I couldn't find the right one. But once I found this, you guys, I just stuck with it because it works for my skin. So let me remove this powder off my hand first and show y'all what it looks like. So this is what the powder looks like on my skin, you guys. And of course, when you first see it, it does look a little bit ashy. But I do want to mention, I do have it on my face today, and it adds the perfect amount of like brightness underneath the skin. It doesn't look ashy on my skin at all, because once you set your whole entire face, add some bronzer and whatnot, everything works out. But this powder, I can keep going on and on about it, but honestly, if you're looking for a very good powder that sets your under eyes, looks really smooth and flawless, I highly recommend this one right here. Alright, so that's everything I do have for you guys, and I feel like this video went by really quickly, so I'm so sorry, but I do hope you enjoyed it at least and learned a thing or two. And when it comes to banana shades, I feel like banana shades are really pretty on darker skin tones. I feel like they add the perfect amount of like warmth and brightness all in one. Hopefully that makes sense, but you guys know what I mean. So with that being said, I love you guys so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and go out, and I'll see you guys in my next one.